ตัวหนึ่งไว้แล้ว
แต่ไม่พูดตอนนั้นบอกแล้วด้
บ
ว
อย กชื่อแล้วว่าเป็นแบบเนี่ยคุณอินสาลินเนี่ยพี่อยากให้เขาอะถ้าเขาเซ็นเข้ามาเขาจะให้มาคู่กับพี่
ครับพี่
พี่ก็เลยบอกว่าได้ครับถ้าเป็นน้องอินพี่เล่น
If you don't know, now you know. Welcome back to Hashtag J Podcast. And yes, it's your podcast with all your BL recap, react content, a few BL animes and manhwas, a bit of gossip and gossip about your real BL actors with a few BL couples, giving our unapologetic opinion while spreading a dash of light. And yes, we are back with this Hashtag J recap react of WANDEE GOODDAY. Baby. I just want to say I am deep into the great end ship. Baby, that pairing was magnifico. Listen, their chemistry is so on point. It's like 2024 is the season of on point couple. You get what I'm saying? We had Chris and Kurt with Unknown. We got Great and End with WANDEE GOODDAY. And let me tell you something. This BL drama slaps. Like, as far as like a breath of fresh air with a more mature BL drama, like, even though YORYAK is still in school, like college, you don't get so much of that school type of content. It's more so them out and about, and baby, I'm eating it up. Okay. N is a vibe. Like, I love Dr. WANDEE. Baby, this series, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're not familiar with WANDEE GOODDAY, baby, you need to get on the train. I got on the train and I binged last night, episodes 1 through 6. And honey, I enjoyed every minute of it. It was complete mind-blowing experience. But honestly, what kind of drove me to want to watch this BL drama series is because I actually saw a behind-the-scenes clip of them two interact, and their interactions was so cute. I was like, you know what? I gotta watch this series. So if you're tuning in and you want to see that clip, that behind the scenes clip that I'm talking about, I'm going to put it on. Just stay tuned and just hold on to your pearls. We're gonna get to that point. But WANDEE GOODDAY is a BL drama series about a doctor named WANDEE and a boxer named YORYAK. Now, they happened to meet each other when YORYAK's brother Oye set up a doctor's appointment for his shoulder to get checked out, just overall to get checked out, and plus the hospital was one of their sponsors. Being that the hospital is formerly in some type of program where they work with boxing, boxers, athletes more. So, Oye sets up an appointment for YORYAK. YORYAK was technically supposed to be seeing a doctor named Nope, but Nope ended up passing YORYAK over to WANDEE. And when they first meet each other, WANDEE knows that YORYAK is attractive. Okay? And to a point throughout the examination, YORYAK realizes that WANDEE is, unattractive. But when they meet each other, they don't particularly like each other. WANDEE thinks that YORYAK is a narcissist, and YORYAK just thinks WANDEE is annoying, basically. So throughout the first episode and through that doctor's visit, they really just kind of come like they throw shade at each other. It's just the most shadiest doctor's appointment you will ever see. And then after that, WANDEE talks about YORYAK to his friend Dr. Platt, who's played by Drake, who is a psychiatrist. And he doesn't realize that YORYAK's in the bathroom, and YORYAK overheard him. And after that whole shade fest they have in there, YORYAK puts in, like, he asks his brother to put in a request for him to never come in contact with WANDEE again. So throughout the first episode, Wandy is preparing to meet up with Dr. Tar, who is a doctor he's known for 8 years that he's in love with. And he's looking forward to it because he's going to confess to him. Throughout the 8 years, how their relationship has been going, Wandy's under the perception that there is a chance that Dr. Tar feels the same way he feels about him. So he takes him to this nice restaurant, and in the process of confessing, Dr. Tar basically tells Wandy he only likes the women, right? But also was requesting Wandy his to give up his basically his bid into trying to get the scholarship that them two were offered and have to a level compete with each other to get. So Dr. Tars was using Wandy for like the past 8 years because Wandy would do everything Dr. Tar would ask him and things that he wouldn't even ask him. He'll go above and beyond because he liked him. So, because Dr. Tar to a point knew, he had to know that Wandy liked him. He used that, and it was just like a comfort type of thing, knowing that he would never do those things for Wandy, and he knew that he would never want to reciprocate those type of feelings. He's a crumb. I'm not gonna lie to you. Dr. Tar was a crumb. We're not really feeling him at all. But in that instinct, I love how Wandy handled it. He gathered himself and he, to a point, put him in his place. But before he got to the point of putting him in his place, he was vulnerable and his feelings was hurt. So he asked Dr. Tar, like, why? Why? It can't be just because you like women. You had to have known that I was attracted to you. Now, at first, when I watched this scene, my first depiction is I know he's not really going in and going this route because he doesn't like men. But as you're watching it, you get a gist that, nah, this is not what it is. I get what he's saying. Throughout the course of the 8 years, you knew I liked you and I had feelings for you. Yet Dr. Tar never laid out the boundaries to Wandy that he was only into women. He let Wandy keep doing what he was doing and feeding into those feelings, giving Wandy basically a level of hope to keep those interactions going. So when Wandy asked him, like seriously, like what it can't be just that. That's when he said Wandy was too vanilla, baby. He said Abu Wandy was too vanilla. Baby. Baby, what truly made this meeting so horrible is that Dr. Tar's intentions was to use Wandy's affections towards him against Wandy, so Wandy would be willing to let go the scholarship and Dr. Tar would have it without having to work hard for it. He's a damn crumb. That's all Wandy needed to hear. That's when Wandy gathered him and Wandy went out, got him a couple of drinks with Dr. Pleck, and he told he filled him in. And that's when Wandy said, you know what, since he feels I'm too vanilla, I'm gonna do me. Now, Wandy is to me is a hopeless romantic, and you also find out that Wandy has never experienced his first kiss either. He's saving his first kiss for the person that he's in love with, which happens to be Dr. Tar. So Wandy says, F it, we gonna go out there and we gonna do us. He had him a city boy moment. So in the process of him having a city boy moment, he doesn't do well at all. Like Wandy is a quirky sexy. That's how I can describe Wandy. Wandy's very quirky sexy. So his type of flirting is not received by the average male. It's like if you ain't into that quirkiness, you wouldn't really find Wandy attractive. You'll find him weird. He's unsuccessful, and in the midst of him telling Dr. Plague to just drop him off and he'll find his way home, he bumps up against Yoryak, and that is when he tries again. When he tries again, Yoryak is just not into his quirky, crazy way of flirting. And that's when Wandy just gives up and he just falls out by the dumpsters outside the store that he was trying to flirt with Yoryak. And I'm sure you guys have seen that clip. So Yoryak, of course, helps Wandy. He doesn't leave Wandy there and he brings him home. And that's what starts the FWB relationship. Now, this relationship transforms into a lot of things very quickly because at the end of the day, certain things start to happen that Wandy didn't expect to happen. So the whole incident with the situation with him and Dr. Tar at the restaurant, the hospital, the rest of the people at the hospital later on finds out about it. And in the midst of them finding out about it, they accuse Wandy of using him being rejected by Dr. Tar as a reason to why he's going for the scholarship. Basically, not saying that he's going for the scholarship to really help patients. So they felt like he wasn't really serious about the important mission of the scholarship and basically trying to put it out there for him not to get the scholarship. So these are the rules to the scholarship. They have to get votes from the hospital, and they're getting votes from the employees, the patients, and the patient's family, and then plus the board of the hospital. Now, if people find out that Wandy's only going for the scholarship because Dr. Tar rejected him for being with him, there's multiple downfalls of that. Being that whoever it is, the perception of two men being together and the fact that one man didn't want to be with the other one is coming for them, it's crazy. So it doesn't look good for Dr. Wandy. So this is when he has to ask Yoryak to go above and beyond and break a rule in the FWB rules that they came up with. It's always the one who puts the rules down that one breaks one of the biggest rules. It's so funny. But anyway, he asks Yoryak to pretend to be his boyfriend. So people would realize that he's not worried about Dr. Tar. He got somebody out. And you can tell that Wandy got somebody new because Wandy's moving different and Wandy got new jewelry. Yes, Yoryak gives Wandy his chain. And baby, it's just the way things are happening. They don't even realize that they're basically in a relationship that got together, getting to know each other, just doing all the things that they want to do with the other people they're in love with. And this is where they have this in common. In the process of him asking Yoryak that, Yoryak reaction was hell no. One being that he didn't want people to find out that he was having relations with a man, being that he has his own dreams and he felt like that type of label would conflict with him getting his world champ title. He was just like, no. And then off of the fact that him and Wandy came up with these rules for a reason to avoid conversations like they're having now. So he tells Wandy that he just want to end the whole situation since Wandy wants a lot from him. This is when Wandy signs up for classes at his gym because Wandy really wants Yoryak to do this because his scholarship is in danger. In the midst of that, that is when Wandy is introduced to Yoryak's older brother, Oye, and Oye's beau, Shay. Now, he's now to me in the family, it was so cute. But now he's introduced to Yoryak's family. And he books these classes, even though Yoryak denies that he doesn't want to train him because he knows why Wandy's there. So he eventually gives in and he comes up with a bet that if Wandy hits him in the face during their training, he would be willing to play his fake boyfriend. Of course, Wandy doesn't win and Wandy leaves upset. Now, when Wandy leaves upset, Wandy freezes at crossing the street and he has flashbacks to an accident that happened. Now, we don't have full clarification on what his what can we call this? His PTSD moments that happens because it happens sorry, my allergies, guys. It happens every time Wandy is about to cross the street. So we don't really have full context of what the PTS flashback moment is. But Yoryak comes up. He asks Wandy, is he okay? Wandy snaps at him. He ignores it and they go off and do their thing. And that's when Yoryak basically gives in when Wandy explains to him why he chooses him. I understand why Yoryak asked Wandy that because they do have a FWB relationship. And he was right. You can ask anybody. Why would you ask me? Because they already have an arrangement. And Wandy's reason is basically Yoryak sees him. To sum up what he says, Yoryak sees Wandy for Wandy, and he takes care of Wandy. And Wandy lists all the things that Yoryak has done for him that Yoryak didn't even realize that Wandy knew and paid attention to. Especially the night when he saves Wandy from getting SA'd, and he stays the night with him, and then the next morning he makes him breakfast and he leaves. He thought Wandy didn't even know he even brought him home, but Wandy knew it was Yoryak. He said, I realized it was you. That's why I was relaxed and I was willing to go with you. But baby, listen. These two are deep. They deep. Jesus, just talking about it. Okay. We get to the point where Yoryak has agreed. So he shows up to the hospital. He puts on the show for the hospital. And now it's solidified that Wandy has a boyfriend. Now, the only person who don't believe in this is Dr. Tar, but also he's too invested on what's going on for someone who don't like men and only into women. Okay. Now, the one person who do truly believe this relationship wholeheartedly and low key, I think she's a fan, is Dr. Kwan. Now, Dr. Kwan is the young lady that when Wandy confessed to Dr. Tar, Wandy came for Dr. Tar and asked him if he had feelings for Dr. Kwan, and he didn't know how to answer. So she's the one that Dr. Tar allegedly likes. Because right now he's all over the place with his feelings. She's all in while he's so worried about Yoryak and Wandy. So how Dr. Plaque puts it is the fact that Wandy's invested in another person is drawing out Dr. Tar's feelings for Wandy. You have to realize Dr. Tar had Wandy for 8 years. So he's never experienced Wandy really liking or showing attention or being with another man outside of him. And, the flirting and the wooing and going out your way, it was their thing. And Dr. Tar is just like I said, he's a crumb. He's horrible. But he's realizing that he does have feelings for Wandy. That's what he's realizing. But he's also trying to get Wandy to lay down his sword in this scholarship. And Wandy's like, no, you can eat dirt. Because I'm going to do me, baby. I'm going to get the scholarship and you can eat dirt. And we're here for it, Wandy. We team Dr. Wandy over here. Okay? So their relationship is blossoming. And they learning new things about each other. Now, one thing about this BL drama series I want to point out, I love the fact that they have a HPV awareness on this BL drama. It's the first for me. And this is also the first for me, a BL drama that you have a character who is Dr. Black, who identifies as an asexual character, which is a first. Now, asexual is a term to describe someone who does not experience sexual attraction towards individuals of any gender. Asexuality is a sexual orientation, which is different from celibacy. Now, we get that where Dr. Plaque openly says that he's an asexual character.
แล้วว่าวัน
Okay?
นี้
เชี่ยทำไมวะเหมือนเดิมเหรอ
กูว่า asexual ในเมืองไทยมันไม่มีอยู่จริงว่ะ
Now, as you can see, Dr. Plaque, who is Wandy's best friend, identified as an asexual character. And this is a first for me. And I love the fact that Thai BL dramas are now going beyond the lesbian, bisexual, and gay and transsexual characters. We're getting more of the LGBTQIA community. And we are loving it. Because Dr. Black is a vibe, to be honest with you. He is so funny. And it's so funny to me how Wandy and Yoryak don't realize that Over the course of time of their FWB relationship, they have became patients, a case study for Dr. Black. And it's so funny how Wandy is just like so opposed of his best friend therapizing him, yet he goes for his little mini therapy session during lunch break. It's so funny to me. And I think it's cute that Dr. Black just he's there for Wandy just to make sure Wandy's okay, and also that Wandy doesn't make another mistake again. Also, in these episodes, Yoryak does meet Wandy's family, which is his grandmother. And when they meet, it is super duper cute. Yoryak becomes a big fan of Wandy's grandmother because she's a bit of a quirky woman herself. You kind of get an idea of where Wandy gets his crazy, quirky ways. He really relatively get it from his grandmother. And the way Yoryak eats his grandmother up, you can just tell that Yoryak kind of really relatively fell in love with Wandy. Because to love Wandy's grandmother is to love Wandy because they're kind of one and the same. Now, looking at episode 6 and what I see for the future episodes is I feel like we are going to start getting to the deep thick of the messy. Now, Oye is Yoryak's brother, and his boyfriend is Shay, who also works at the boxing gym as well. Now, we find out that during COVID that the boxing gym went through a few financial difficulties where Oye had to get funds from certain particular people. Now, there's a scene where Oye and Shay, Yoryak, and Wandy basically go on a double date. I want to say that is the last episode. I want to say it's episode 6, the episode that just aired, where they go out and they do them, like they really enjoy each other. But there's a part where they split ways and Oye has to redirect Shay because they're walking into the middle of a few gangsters trying to shake down a few folks for their dollars. Now the way Oye looked is like as if he recognizes these people and he's next on their list to be shaken down. Now, Shay had already told Oye that they couldn't afford to miss payments, else things would get crazy. And Oye told Shay he had everything under control. But something has been stewing and brewing, occupying Oye's mind to the point that Shay thought that he was cheating on him, but he's not. Homeboy is shaking in his boots because I think eventually we are going to be presented with these gangsters wanting they moot money, okay? And then Shay and Yoryak is not in the loop on where they are with these gangsters and owing them they dollars. Okay. Oye got his lips closed because he is the older brother and he's supposed to have shit together. It ain't looking like he got things together. Now, Oye is a dope older brother, but I also feel like him and Yoryak is gonna have a little bit of contention because it feels like to me that once Yoryak wins this world championship, he's gonna want to be done with boxing. And that's why he's trying to pursue schooling so much because it was a dream of his mother. And since his mother's no longer there with them, it's something that he wants to commit to, which is the reason why his friend Tam is a big importance to him in his schoolwork. And also, Tam is Yoryak's unrequited love. He is in love with his best friend. But the difference between Yoryak and Wandy, Yoryak's best friend is not using Yoryak. She is very verbally, how should I say? Like she's very verbally adamant with Yoryak that she doesn't want a relationship with Yoryak and that she only sees him as a friend. So Yoryak already knows, but he still want to see if he can, get close to her. So one day that they can get body to body, like him and Wandy. So she's not leading Yoryak on. But to me personally, as these episodes are airing, I feel like a part of me feel like it could be a possibility that Yoryak is using Tam to trying to weave out Dr. Wandy's real feelings about him. because he doesn't really bring up his feelings for her until about, I think I want to say episode 4, 3 or 4, where Wandee does talk about Dr. Tar. But I feel like underliningly, because Yoryak already knows where he stands with her, is I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't really want them to be liking anybody but each other. Okay? That's just my selfish wants watching this BL series. But a part of me feel like the only reason why she was brought up was to bring out a jealousy side in Wandee. And baby, it is working. It is working. Her presence bothers Wandee. The thought of Yoryak being in a relationship with her makes Wandee very sad. It bothers him very badly. Mind you, he has nothing against the girl, and he's helping Yoryak get with her, just like Yoryak is helping Wandee get back at Dr. Tar. But the difference is Yoryak not helping Wandee get with Dr. Tar. He's helping him get back at him. Yoryak is asking Wandee to help him get with Tam. And I'm just like, wow. You see Wandee when he goes through it because Wandee has fallen in love with Yoryak. Also, when Tam makes a visit to the hospital and spends some time with Yoryak, Dr. Tar sees Wandee looking a little sad and depressed from looking at them two interact. So I feel like he's going to use that as a window for him to get his Dr. Wandee back the way he had him before. Such a crumb. And that's why I say I love Dr. Plaque, because his best friend really helps him put shit together when his mind is very convoluted. And the best friend told, like, he fills in the blanks, like, you really like this man. As if he transferred his emotions for Dr. Tar for Yoryak. But it makes sense because throughout these 6 episodes, him and Yoryak really do spend time together, because with him being his fake boyfriend, he has to be seen staying with Wandee, then him and Wandee spending time together to really solidify that they're in a relationship with each other when they're not. So in the process of them spending more time with each other, they're falling in love with each other. They're realizing that they work. They work, they encourage each other. They encourage each other to be better. Like Wandee doesn't realize the scholarship, what helps him a lot is Yoryak. And Wandee drives Yoryak to want to be a world championship because he sees how hard Wandee wants to go for his scholarship. And the fact that Wandee's so studious, he helps Yoryak on his educational background as well. So Yoryak gets the full on support from Wandee. He gets the support academically and physically, where on the hands of his older brother is just the boxing. His brother doesn't really encourage him academically. Tam encourages Yoryak academically and also boxing wise, but she's not Wandee. She's not intimate with him. She's not there with him. She's not invested in him the way Wandee is. And that's what he wants. Even though Tam is supportive on both ends, his cup is still not full. He gets a full glass out of Wandee. And that's what they're realizing out of each other, that each other encourage each other to be better. And also, they got a lot in common. Wandee doesn't have his parents. Yoryak doesn't have his mom. We don't really have much context on his father, except that he is also a world champ belt holder like his brother. So you don't really have context on the father as of yet, but they both suffer from losing parents or a parent, and they both are in love with people that are not in love with them. So it's just like it makes sense that they met each other, but they are so different. And their differences is what makes each other stronger. And I'm sorry, this BL drama literally set a tone. Like, I feel like it's in a league by itself. You know what I mean? Because they both deal with trauma. Like, Yoryak still deal with the trauma of losing his mom. And we see that D has trauma when crossing the street. We don't know particularly the background of his trauma, his PTSD moment. Also, I find it very ironic that when Tam gets on board with Team WANDEE and YORYAK, she implies to YORYAK that she will help him get with Dr. WANDEE, which is so crazy because Dr. WANDEE is helping YORYAK get with her. See, this is why I feel that YORYAK is underliningly having his own agenda because how he maneuver in that situation, he's very uncomfortable. But as time goes on, everyone is really rooting for WANDEE and YORYAK to really be together. The way these two look out for each other is just adorable. There's a scene where WANDEE brings YORYAK to his parents' gravesite, and that lets YORYAK into the fact that WANDEE too has lost parents. And it just made their relationship much closer because you see that Yoryak was so happy that WANDEE let him in. And is their come together I'm just really looking forward to. I'm low key mad that I started this BL series while it's still continuing because I wish I would have waited so I can binge watch the whole 10 episodes. But we are here and it is what it is. And we're going to get into this behind the scenes clip to why I really got into WANDEE Goodday. So let's get into it.
เรื่องนี้ด้วยกันได้ยังไงก่อน
เขา
น่ากลัว
เขา
ผมเข้ามาอยู่ก่อนแล้ว
เขาเข้ามาอยู่ก่อนแล้ว
ครับ
เขาเข้าไปอยู่ GMM ก่อนแล้วแล้วก็แต่ผมไม่ได้แต่พี่ก็คือเรื่องนี้เลยถูกปะ
เรื่องนี้เลยจริงๆมีเรื่องก่อนหน้านี้คือ Beauty Newbie ที่เล่นกับน้องบินกับพี่ใบเฟิร์นแต่ว่าก็ตอนที่เข้ามามันจะมี2เรื่อง
ครับ
ก็มีเรื่องนั้นแล้วก็เรื่องเนี้ยที่เขาบอกว่าเขาบอกว่าอยากให้พี่เล่นเรื่องนี้ แล้วก็เขาอะเล็งตัวอีกตัวหนึ่งไว้แล้ว
แต่ไม่พูดตอนนั้นบอกแล้วด้
บ
วย
อกชื่อแล้วว่าเป็นแบบเนี่ยคุณอินสาลินเนี่ยพี่อยากให้เขาอะถ้าเขาเซ็นเข้ามาเขาจะให้มาคู่กับพี่
ครับพี่
พี่ก็เลยบอกว่าได้ครับถ้าเป็นน้องอินพี่เล่น ก็เลยแบบเลือกเซ็นเข้ามาเลย
เป็นเพราะเขา
เป็นเพราะเขาจริงๆต้องบอกว่าเป็นเพราะเขาด้วยที่ผมรับเล่นเพราะถ้าเป็นคนอื่นอาจจะต้องคิดก่อน และอาจจะต้องคิดมากกว่า
เพราะว่า
นี้
เขาอายุเยอะแล้ว
แก
จะเอาน้องที่ไหนไปเล่นกับเขา
แก
เรา
เราพูด
19พี่30
โอ้ไม่อย่างดีให้เกียรติกันให้
Like I said, these two chemistry is just on point. And when I saw that clip, I'm like, you know what? I have to see this BL series because these two work together. And it's just knowing the behind scenes and how they are together really helps me as far as with the BL drama series, as far as they're going to play as a pair. Because if they can get together, if they get along really well and seamlessly, and of course there'll be friction. I mean, that's human behavior. But if they can maneuver and work together and have a good, strong friendship off camera, on camera, you're gonna sell it. And you're gonna give us what we need, and you're gonna give greatness. Just straight up greatness. And when I saw that behind the scenes clip, I was like, you know what? I have to check out this BL drama series because I know it's gonna eat. I know it's gonna eat. And it did. It ate in 6 episodes, and we got 4 more episodes to go. It's a total 10 episodes. And just the whole love story between these two is very interesting. And WANDEE Goodday is a damn good BL drama series. It's more mature. Honestly, how these two converse about intimate things is on a whole nother level. How WANDEE proves to viewers and people who are watching that he's not vanilla. WANDEE is not vanilla. And that's how you knew Dr. Tar did not know WANDEE. Because once you get to know WANDEE, there's nothing vanilla about WANDEE. WANDEE and YORYAK are willing to try any and everything in the bedroom with each other. That's not vanilla. So Dr. Tar missed out on a great one. He missed out on a great experience. And that's all we're going to say. So this is our recap of WANDEE Goodday episodes 1 through 6. I didn't want to draw it out. I just summarized those episodes. And episode 7 will be more of a breakdown, being that will be it by itself. And I'm not recapping all episodes in one video. But I don't want to hold you guys too long. Let me tell you something. I'm into the great end pairing. I am knee deep into that ship. I am on the. I have got first class tickets on that ship. Okay, I'm here for it. We are all here for it. And if you are not watching WANDEE Goodday, you are missing out. I will tell you guys go check it out. I'm going to put this on the podcast if you want to hear this recap react on the go. You guys already know if you like, love, and enjoy our amazing reaction videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to know when we upload new videos. Also, don't forget to check out our reaction to The Perfect Propose on Patreon, which is free and open. And also check out our podcast episodes on our podcast on Spotify on hashtag JPodcast. We also do our clips on TikTok on hashtag JPodcast and our Twitter, which is hashtag JPAH. All this info is in the bio, so go check it out. And also check out our website, Recent Posts. Guys, you already know. Let me tell you something. This series, the body is bodying. Baby, their bodies is giving. Their body. And I usually don't really say that about BL series, but their bodies are bodying. When I say bodying, bodying. So check it out. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, you already know. Be you, be amazing, and most importantly, be safe in these crazy streets. Layers, beautiful